Hey, collective. How we doing today? If you're joining me live, leave me a comment. Let me know how things are going for you. Sorry, I was just checking my phone to make sure that we were all good, and we are, in fact. I'm going to go ahead and light this Palo Santo just to cleanse the energy, cleanse the space a little bit. Today, I'm going to be sharing a vulnerability with you guys, a current struggle that I've had for, I guess you could say years now, but it wasn't really made apparent to me until all of my health issues that I've been healing came up last year. And I drastically changed my diet and went plant-based, gluten-free, which has helped massively. But with that restriction, and I say restriction loosely because obviously there's a lot more freedom to be found when you choose to put good things in your body, right? Like, that is true freedom. That is not restriction. However, sometimes it can feel like restriction. It can feel confining. Like you only have, I can only eat this and this. And even though there are lots of amazing options, sometimes you just want to binge out on something sweet or on something that's not good for you. To give you guys a little bit of a background on what I was diagnosed with. Now, I don't claim these diagnoses as a part of me. You can watch the stream that I did recently about, I don't remember what it was entitled. I think it was like Beyond the Diagnosis or something. Because I'm very, very careful about not claiming them as a part of my identity, even though it's said to be incurable. Last year, I was diagnosed with advanced liver cirrhosis. The beginning of this year, I was hospitalized because I had some varices in my esophagus that ruptured, caused internal bleeding, and I was throwing up a lot of blood. While in the hospital for an entire week, doctors told me that I did not have a very good prognosis on life, that I was going to probably need a liver transplant in order to be able to have a good life. And as a result of my liver function being so poor, I also have diabetes currently. So severe metabolic disorders. And this is why I've shifted my diet, is because I'm working through healing these and giving my physical body the best chance that it can to heal and work through all of that. So things like sweets, like processed sugars and stuff like that, it's extra bad for people like me. So I'm generally very good about what I eat, especially like earlier in the day. But I've noticed a pattern, like if I do Uber Eats deliveries at night sometimes and stuff. And I've noticed that, like, if I'm tired or if I'm out too late, or if I haven't eaten like maybe a good enough dinner, like have enough to fill me up and make me feel satiated, then sometimes it's easy to want to give in and stop and binge on something. Now, I still haven't eaten meat in the entire time that I've gone plant-based. That's when I've never touched meat. I've had eggs a couple times and I've had dairy. But mostly, like, for some reason, like corn chips, baked Lay's chips, and this is what I binged on last night and today. I bought these last night and I ate the entire package between last night and today. And of course, I don't feel good in my body now. Like, it's not the way that I want to show up. It's not who I want to be, right? Like, that's not me being in integrity by allowing myself to not have self-control in this area. I'm not showing up as the divine alchemist in this area when I do that. So earlier today, I was like, all right, I really want to alchemize this. Like, I'm tired of this repeating pattern where, like, I'll be good for, like a week or two. Like, my diet will be like on point. I won't eat anything that I'm not, quote unquote, supposed to, because I say that loosely because I can literally do whatever I want. It's just there's consequences for each action, right? So today I was like, all right, body. Well, let me back up a little bit. My body has been giving me clues the last few days that, like, it really wants to detox. that it really wants me to take a break from food, to fast, and to reset. And I love to eat. I don't know. I love food. And I used to give myself anything I wanted, anytime I wanted, which is why I'm now dealing with these health issues. Yeah, because in my 20s, I literally ate whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And I was a dancer. I was an exotic dancer for almost 8 years. So I would get off work late at night and go get Whataburger, whatever, eat fast food. Horrible diet, plus drinking, smoking weed, other drugs, other substances. Like, guys, when I tell you I feel like I've lived like 7 people's lives in my 31 years, I fucking mean it. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about today. I'll go into more detail on all of that another day. It's for another time. But anyway, my body has been telling me that it wants to detox recently, that it wants to detox from food, and that I need to recalibrate. So, like I said, I was doing really, really good over the last few days. And then last night, I got those gluten-free Oreos and I ate the entire package between last night and today. And now I feel like in my body, my hernia, I have an umbilical hernia from the fluid retention that I had when I was really in the pits with my liver cirrhosis. I had about 20 pounds of extra fluid in my retained in my abdomen, and it caused a rupture in the lining of my abdominal wall. So I have a hernia that will poke through when I have overeaten and stuff. And it's flared up right now. It's angry because I binge ate those Oreos. So my body's been asking me to detox. And I have been being stubborn. I've been like, no, I love to eat. So what I did today after binging all those Oreos was I was like, all right, Spirit, this is something I really, really want to tackle. This is something I really want to beat. I want to become the divine alchemist in this area of my life. I want to choose consciously always. In everything I do, I want to be the conscious creator. I don't want to go unconscious on this anymore, because when I'm stuffing my face on that, whether it's that or the chips that I love to eat, I'm not present. I'm not in my body anymore. It's like my way to disassociate. And I don't need to be doing that. I need to be staying present. I need to be staying connected at all times. That's who I want to be. That's how I want to show up. So I decided to come up, and I'm just going to share a little bit of this with you guys in case any of you find this helpful. And you can apply it to any area, anything you're struggling with. Whether it's a bad habit like drinking, smoking weed, cigarettes, getting away from toxic people, toxic relationships and partners, whatever it is for you, feel free to utilize what you like out of this. Craft your own sacred practice. I highly, highly recommend it. But I just did a little bit of deep diving. I asked some questions to myself, to my higher self, and I did some tracking on when I tend to binge, what times of day it is, what I'm feeling, where am I, what's going on, just diving deeper. And so ultimately it comes down to it's a lesson in consciousness, right? Just like everything we go through, everything comes back to consciousness. That's why I'm so adamant about teaching this, because if you can hone your consciousness, you can do anything you want. And that's when you easily magnetize the life of your dreams. That's when you become aligned with everything that you want, your deepest desires. So this is it's the last big domino to fall for me. And when I can master this, then the universe is you're literally everything that you desire is on the other side of you working through this, of you reintegrating and healing this. So I'm all right, this is the month. It ends now. So I came up with some steps. Hang on, let me find them. Well, I did a lot of journaling. I did 5 pages of journaling first and foremost. And then I got in touch with my body, and I was like, okay, so body, like, what is a good, let's craft a ritual together. And my body was like, all right, so for the next 7 days, I just got quiet, and my body was like, for the next 7 days, we want you to do an alternating 1 day of eating, 1 day of fasting. And I was like, okay, all right, who could I be? So then I asked this question, who could I be a week from now if I followed what my body is asking for? Much healthier, like night and day difference in how I look and feel. My hernia would be back tucked inside. It wouldn't be like protruding out and painful. I'd be sleeping better. I'd be in direct communication with source and my guides. There'd be like no distortion in my field. I would know myself on a deeper level and see where I'm limiting myself as well as why. The bags under my eyes would decrease. I'd feel light in my body. My organs would be happy. I would once again have freedom of choice. My aura would be bright and clear. My abundance would be flowing effortlessly, and I would have eons of creative inspiration. Those are all the things that are waiting for me just on the other side of this. And that I was just like, oh, okay. Like, you would think that right there alone would be enough. But in the past, I've allowed things to derail me. And I say I've allowed because I'm the one who chose to do that. So, all right. Then I was like, let's devise a plan of action, because I know that this is not going to be easy. And if I don't come up with a plan of action for how I'm going to counteract when the urge arises to eat on days that I've decided to fast, or when I'm out doing deliveries and I just really want a snack or something sweet. Like I was like, all right, let's identify these blocks now so that we know how to move through them when they inevitably arise, because they will. Anytime you're trying to shift or change a habit, especially one that is deep rooted and also has like an emotion behind it, which all bad habits do, when you dig deep enough, you'll find the resonance field for what's holding it in place. There's going to be everything in your field trying to prevent you from shifting that. Okay. So hang on one second. This lighting is bothering me. I don't know. Maybe that's better. Maybe. Yeah, that's way better. The glare on my face was driving me crazy. Okay. There's going to be everything trying to hold you back from this next level. Your brain, your bad habits, and entities that want to keep you small, distorted, so that they can keep siphoning off your energy field. They are all going to be coming in, and they are going to be throwing their best shots at you, trying to derail you. So you have to devise a plan of action. And you have to set reminders on your phone so that you can keep checking in with that. So that was the next thing I did. And I won't lie, this took me a while, but I went ahead and put alarms in for the next 7 days. For every 2 hours of like my waking day, an alarm will go off. That will give me a channeled message. So I like put them in my phone, and I put in whatever I felt led to type at that specific time on that specific day. Some of them were pretty much the same, like no food today, like remember your goals, remember what's important. But then other ones were like good job, like keep going, you got this. Like I did a mix of like inspirational ones and ones that are like, hey, check your field, watch yourself, be aware of this, stay conscious, stay present to this, remember what's important. So I did that for all 7 days. So I have like a bazillion alarms set to go off over the next 7 days in my phone. And then step 2 was ensure that there's no tempting foods in the home, which I don't have. I bought those Oreos last night while I was out, and I don't have anything else here that I'm not supposed to have. And then number 3, I wrote down a list of activities and tasks that I can complete when the urge to eat pops up. So some of those were breath work, tuning in. I think that's a great one to start with, like regardless of whatever else you do after that. Whenever you're having the urge to binge, to smoke a cigarette, to pop those pills, to whatever, take a moment and breathe. Like, okay, say audibly, all of me come back to me. Call all of your energy back to you and get very, very present and very curious. Start thinking, okay, like what's behind this right now? Like why, like a good question for me, since mine is around food, is like, why do I want to eat right now? Like, am I actually hungry, or is this stemming from just the urge, the bad habit? So start identifying those, start asking really good questions. Excuse me. Oh. Something needed to clear. All right. So more things on my list that we can do instead of eating. And these are things that you can also implement as well. Yoga, strength training, going for a walk, being outside, super beneficial. Like ground, use nature. Nature is very healing. Also, like it helps you disconnect from the matrix, the 3D bullshit that we get caught up in, and it'll help you get more quiet and more present with you, your higher self, your guides, with God. You can listen to music or a podcast, draw, create art, go live on Facebook, make content. So that's one thing I will be doing. I'll probably be hopping on every day for the next 7 days to kind of just share what I'm going through each day. I'm going to use you guys as an accountability platform. Obviously, you're welcome to join me live or not. I don't know what time of day it will be. But yeah, like I'm gonna use Facebook to help keep me accountable to my goals for this next week, to help me keep accountable to this ritual that I've crafted for myself around this. Cleaning, decluttering, meditating, journaling, working with your guides, working with your higher self. If you have tarot or oracle decks, start playing around with them, get to know your decks more, or your crystals. There's so many things that we can do instead of whatever bad habit it is that we're trying to alchemize, that we're trying to work through, right? So that is the encouragement that I have for you guys today. We all struggle with things, and it's hard not to, especially here. I feel like specifically here in America. But just knowing there are ways around it, there are ways through it, and to meet the resistance with ease, to get very curious, to get playful, will help you shift that energy. It'll help you shift that habit into something else. So just make a list of things. Let me run back through these. Put alarms in your phone, especially around the times that you know you generally want to do X, Y, or Z. Put those alarms in your phone to trigger the alarm to go off, to bring the consciousness, because that's the first step, is identifying it and bringing the consciousness to it. Then make sure that you don't have that thing around you. Like, get rid of it. Don't have it in your home. Don't have it anywhere near that's going to tempt you. Okay? That's super important too. Like, it's going to be, if you're trying to stop smoking cigarettes and you have your pack of cigarettes laying right on your nightstand, it's going to be really hard to say no. Throw them away, crush them, make a ritual around it where you are literally taking back your power from that substance, okay? Burn them, not in your mouth, burn them, but like burn them. Whatever it is for you, whatever feels right for you, tap in intuitively and discover what kind of ritual you want to create around to help you alchemize this bad habit into something that is going to propel you forwards into a higher, more aligned version of you. Okay? And then finally, identify the things that you can do instead when those urges when the desire to do X, Y, or Z hits. So I hope this was helpful. I just want to share a little bit of my story with you guys, share a little bit of what I'm struggling with, because I don't want y'all to think that like I have life all figured out or that I'm fucking perfect. Absolutely not. And I don't ever want to portray that. So yeah, this is my struggle. This is what I've been working through. This is what I'm alchemizing currently. I would love, if you're willing to share, I would love to hear what comes up for you and to see how we can support each other in helping each other alchemize. So drop a comment down below if you feel that you're willing to be vulnerable. I'm just perfectly fine if you're not. But to those of you who do share, I greatly appreciate it. And I will absolutely respond. And together we will lift each other up. Together we will help propel each other into the highest versions of ourselves, where we are the divine alchemists, the conscious creators, where we don't go unconscious to our subconscious programming, where we don't fall back into those bad habits that are no longer serving us. Okay. I love you all dearly. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you all next time.